Everyone, so welcome to my video about Hello Starseed, where are you from? This video is a bit different. It is focusing on you having to choose your group based on characteristics. So what you have to do, I've listed 8 individual groups that you can choose from. Go ahead and pick the characteristics that best reflect your own emotions and characteristics based on what's written down. I want you to feel with your body. Read them as you're reading them. Really feel with your body what emotions appeal to you the most. What excites you? What talks to your heart? What talks to your soul? Really feel out what group is pulling you towards itself. That group is what planet you're from, and that's where your starseed message is going to come from today. I have also included some thoughts and some feelings and some other aspects that make you a starseed, can make you a starseed. So maybe you're questioning whether you are in fact a starseed or not. You're not sure. Start of this video, I've put them into subcategories actually. I've written, am I actually a starseed? And if you actually pulled or answering yes to any of the questions, maybe 5 or more, then I think you are definitely a starseed in a previous life. If you find yourself pulled to more than one group, that's fine. You can be from multiple groups, especially if you're a light worker or made up of different soul families, indigo, rainbow in particular, or light worker. You could have traveled from many different galaxies, many different planets. For myself, I have actually experienced four different galaxies, 4 different planets, 4 different lives. Sorry, the same life, but on 4 different planets. That's what I was meant to say. I do have my blonde moments. I am the blonde psychic. Okay? So some of you may not even know what a starseed is. A starseed actually is, they're still around today, all of the constellations in outer space. There are thousands of them in the galaxy. I have listed 8 of the well-known ones known to mankind, okay? Actually known. The 8 most commonly known constellations that starseeds come from. You might not even be from any of these planets. You may be from a different planet. And that's okay. These are only 8 of the thousands of planets available. This is just a generalized reading. If none of them appeal to you, if none of them pull you into them, if none of them speak to you, you're from none of them. Keep researching. Keep researching what constellation you could be from. Keep researching what qualities make up different planets, what aspects of different planets are made up of, and they may call you in. You never know. More than likely you are from one of these 8 planets. So again, go ahead and feel with your heart and your intuition what group is pulling you in, okay? If it's more than one, that's okay too. Remember that, alright? Starseeds are entities that have been around before mankind, and they're still around today. They live in the constellations, in the universe, in the galaxy, made up of many, many different planets and galaxies and constellations. So again, I've only listed 8, and if nothing appeals to you, that's okay. You're not from any of those planets. Keep researching. I'm sure you'll find your planet. As soon as it pulls you in, as soon as you feel drawn to it, that is your planet. And again, and saying again, it could be pulled to more than one planet. Okay? Your life as a starseed is still inside of you. It still is the being that you are today. You still have the qualities that you carried from your starseed life within you now. Even just like your past lives. A part of your past life still reminisces and lives within your body and your soul in the life that you're living today on Earth. So I've made this video to find out what starseed you're from, what planet you're from, I do have my blind moments still. What planet you are from, what starseed galaxy you are from, what your starseed self wants to say to you, what message they want to convey to you. But the fun part is also finding out what planet you're from. So from this you can go ahead and you can actually figure out what planet you're from as well, if none of these resonate to you or pull you in a sense. And if you do resonate for one or more of the planets, I keep going to say galaxies, then do extra research, find pictures, hang them up on your wall. Your starseed self is calling you to do this. You're obviously yearning to find out more about your starseed self and what qualities your starseed self actually embody, because they still live within your body today, in the human form that you're in today. And your starseed self is screaming inside of you, I want you to get to know your starseed self so you can embody me and use those qualities that I had in my starseed life in your everyday life, so we can grow them together, so you can learn about them qualities and make you become a better person and version of yourself that you actually are today. I hope this is making sense to you. So in this video, it's going to be made up as the first part is actually reading whether you are a starseed and whether you can identify with being a starseed. The second part is actually just some interesting films and little videos I've found about different, they're not about all of the 8 planets, they're about some of the videos I have found so far, so I put them in as well. And there's some information about living in the 5th dimension for people that don't know what the 5D is, okay? So, no, I've actually added more. So I've added more than what I originally wanted to add. I've actually then added some pictures and your group subcategories, so you can go ahead and pick what group you're attracted to. And this will be all happening after this introduction video. So sit back, enjoy the information. I hope you watch the whole video so you can understand more about starseeds and learn more about your starseed self. It's a fun journey. I hope you enjoy it. Write down in the comments how you found this video. Was it interesting for you? Do you feel pulled to any of the starseeds? What planet are you actually from? Tell me more about you as a starseed, your starseed life, okay? If anyone would like to hear my starseed story and my journey, I'm actually writing a book about it, but I'm happy to do a video about it too. Let me know and I will make a video about that too. Take care. Enjoy your starseed messages. Enjoy finding out what planet you're on. Bye-bye.
The creation of Lemuria, Atlantis, and why you feel connected to more than one starseed. Lemuria was the first ancient civilization to be seeded on Earth by celestial beings. It was seeded by the Lyrans of Lyra, Pleiadians from the Pleiades, Sirians from Sirius, and Arcturians from Arcturus. In order to prepare themselves for incarnating on Earth onto Lemuria, they all incarnated on each other's planets first to learn each other's lessons. The Sirians insisted that humans be creative and have free will, which is represented by the element of air. Arcturians insisted that humans be ingenious, which is represented by the element of earth. Pleiadians insisted that our consciousness be of unconditional love, and that is represented by water. And the Lyrians insisted that we be motivated to work and survive, which is represented by fire. They also created the polarity of our masculine and feminine sides. But when they got to Lemuria, they were having an internal battle of what to do first because they found that human emotions were very confusing. Lemuria embodies divine feminine and Atlantis divine masculine.
The creators of Hulu admitted that they're evil draconian reptilians, and I can prove it to you. Take a look at this Super Bowl commercial.
Mushy mush. And the best part is there's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, what are you going to do, turn off your TV and your computer? Once your brains are reduced to a cottage cheese like mush, we'll scoop them out with a melon bowler and gobble them right on up. Oops. I think I'm drooling a little. Because we're aliens. And that's how we roll. Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.
They even made 5 more commercials just like that one. They are puppet masters and they're harvesting humans. And how do they get away with it? Well, there's a karmic law of the universe that states they have to disclose everything they do. And this is how. They disguise it as comedy through media, through advertisements, through cartoons.
Hello, Earth. So good to see you.
They are mocking us. It's time to wake up.
No caption, no hashtags. I'm gonna let the universe take care of this one. Whoever needs to see it is going to see it. I'm about to read a Pleiadian channeled message channeled by Michael Love. If you cry, if you have chills, if you just feel any overwhelming emotion, it's because this is encoded with DNA triggers. Okay. The Pleiadians, The Great Journey to Earth. Pleiadian Light Forces Transmission, February 21st, 2021, channeled by Michael Love. A special message to the starseeds of New Earth for immediate planetary broadcast. The Pleiadians often tell stories designed to bring you to higher levels of consciousness. It's not so much about the story, but about how it's encoded to trigger your memories. The data in this transmission is derived from direct Pleiadian channeling, from NDEs, from professional quantum hypnosis sessions, and certain prehistorical data comes from the Lemurian scrolls passed down by the Great White Brotherhood. Tonight we will tell you the story of your great journey to planet Earth. You have heard stories, but there is more. There is the whole story. This whole story...
In the fifth dimension, you can teleport, you can fly, you can heal things. Your thought creates the reality. But there are limitations. You just can't destroy the whole dimension. There are astral police, by the way. The way you meet a time traveler is in the fifth dimension. They're real. We know they exist. Every time you can think of a potential future, you're actually creating a parallel universe. Your astral body, your spiritual body. It looks like a ghost. Let's say you're having a problem with someone. Go to the astral plane. You create what's called a sanctuary, like a conference room in the fifth dimension. You now summon the soul of the person you're having problems with. They have to show up. You can now work out your differences. You can do a negotiation with them. They won't, on the earth plane, won't know what's going on because they're asleep now.
Group 1, you chose Group 1. You were drawn to Group 1's characteristics. So you are dreamers, mentally advanced, emotionally advanced, and you may act in the community as a spiritual leader or healer. Group 1, you are from Arcturus. You are Arcturian. Welcome home, Starseed. As an Arcturian, you're a dreamer. You like to dream of the life that you can live, of the life that you want to live, of the life that you can have and will create for yourself. You're mentally advanced, so you're very smart. You're one of the smartest known people and races out of all of the galaxies. You're emotionally advanced as well. So you know what you want and you chase what you want. So not only are you mentally advanced and emotionally advanced, which is a hell of a lot more advanced than other races, you're one of the most well-balanced races as well within the galaxy. As an Arcturian starseed, you're very well-balanced. And you may work as a spiritual leader or healer within your community. You're very spiritually awoken, very smart, and very emotionally well-balanced. But you do have a dreamy side to you as well, which is a beautiful thing to have. Let's go ahead and get your message from your Arcturian self. Your Arcturian starseed from Arcturus. Let's have a look at what your Arcturian self wants to tell you via the tarot. Wow. Wow. What does your Arcturian self want to say to you? Why are these all coming reversed? My deck is reversed. I'm going to put my deck upright. Start again, because they all came out reversed. I actually might start shuffling again because I don't believe your messages should have came out reversed. That's why I questioned it. It's okay. As a human, even as a starseed and a human, I make mistakes and I can admit that. Your Arcturian self wouldn't have made this mistake. Your deck would have been upright from the beginning. Let's go in and get your message, what your Arcturian self wants you to know. That is better. What does your Arcturian self want to know? I'm being pulled to tell you that some of you wouldn't have watched my introduction message, which is okay. Some of you wouldn't have watched it, and it is okay. So what I want you to do is know that Starseed, your Starseed self, you still carry the embodiment of your Starseed self from your lives many, many years ago, hundreds of years ago, before man were even created. You still carry your Starseed self within you. You still carry your Starseed qualities within you. Your Starseed self still lives within you. And your Starseed self wants to let you know what those qualities are beyond the characteristics that you've already identified within your groups. And they want you to become aware of the qualities and the message they have to tell you, because they want you to use your Starseed aspects of yourself in your everyday life. They want to help you grow as a person, grow your life physically, get back to your Starseed roots, and to evolve as a person. What does your Arcturian self want to say to you? Let's have a look. I think you're very scared of discovering your Starseed self. You love a lot, and because you are so emotionally advanced, you are an emotionally advanced human being, you do feel heartbreak quite a lot, quite harder than a lot of the other races. You got the Three of Voices or the Three of Swords in the traditional tarot. You feel heartbreak quite a lot. You take heartbreak quite hard. You take relationships quite seriously. You don't, your starseed self is acknowledging this aspect of your starseed being, as your life as a human being. It is acknowledging the beautiful person that you are. It is acknowledging how awake you are, how emotionally strong you feel, these connections, your connections within your human existence. Your starseed self is acknowledging your heartbreak you might have even been going through. I think a lot of you are questioning either whether you even believe in your starseed life that you lived many moons ago. You are doubting it. You are doubting that you could have even existed in such a form or as an Arcturian so many years ago. Maybe you're just watching this video out of entertainment purposes. That's okay. You're not awake yet. You will be awake. You are emotionally and mentally advanced though, so your eyes should be wide open and you should be agreeing with everything that is coming out. You feel deeply. You hurt deeply. Everything within your being and soul feels. Maybe you've gone through a heartbreak recently. Your starseed self is acknowledging this pain. You will heal. You will be okay. You will find balance within your life once again. Six of Materials, Six of Pentacles. You will find equal give and take back in your life once again. Your life will get back to normal. Believe. You can do anything you want. As an Arcturian, you're one of the most smartest and most vulnerable when it comes to your emotions. I think you wear your heart on your sleeve quite a lot. You are, metaphysically awake. You are very smart. You know what choices you make when it comes to love. Sometimes I think because you love so deeply and you feel so deeply and you're so emotionally awake, that you tend to forget sometimes about how smart you are and you jump in when you feel such a strong connection. You will bring balance back into your life once again, so don't worry about that, okay? Even if you are going through this heartbreak, even if you're feeling turmoil at this point in time, your starseed self wants you to know that it's okay. You're a deep thinker and you're a deep feeler. Your life will get back to normal with equal give and take and balance once you start allowing yourself to heal from this heartbreak, okay? You got the 9 and 10 of inspiration, 9 or 10 of wands. 9 of wands is depicted here by this beautiful, what do we call her? She looks foreign. She looks Asian, of Asian descent. She's wearing a beautiful orange dress. She's being very defensive. Maybe this, you have known for a while that there is more to your life than your human existence. You have known that there's more to your being than just your human existence and the everyday life that you're living. You feel it in your being. You feel it. Everything within your fiber and being is calling you to a higher calling. You know there's more out there for you. And you're being urged to research more about your Arcturian life as a starseed. Research. Find out. Go into a deep meditation. Find out about your life as an Arcturian starseed. This will not only awaken you, but also get you to know your starseed qualities which you carry within yourself in your human form. Once you discover what these are, you apply them to your life and you put a lot more boundaries in your life, and you won't jump into love so quickly. You'll think before you act. and you'll also become a better, more rounded, emotionally well-off human being. But definitely research more about your Arcturian life. If you're asking me how you do this, deep meditation. You've got to get yourself into a dark room where you won't be disturbed. You've got to get yourself into a dreamlike state where you're still conscious. You have to allow for no disturbance or no noise to come in. Then ask yourself to travel back in time to your starseed life. Travel through the portal. Travel back through the constellations to your time as an Arcturian. Allow yourself to see your life as an Arcturian. What was your day-to-day life like? What was your life on the planet like? What did you do in your everyday life there? What qualities did you hold within your life? You're yearning, your inner starseed, your inner human being is yearning to find out more about your life as an Arcturian. Do this meditation. Make sure you have a journal nearby so you can write down your adventures. Even maybe record your session. Have a tape recorder nearby or a separate phone so you can record your session and speak out loud what your life was like on your Arcturian planet during your time as a life, in your life as a starseed on the planet Arcturus. Some of you are still doubting your life that you lived as an Arcturian. Why are you so afraid of it? Why are you so scared? There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of here. It's all light and love. It's just a learning experience. It's learning where you've come from. It's learning the roots of the person that you are today. The makeup and the DNA of the person that you are today stemmed from your life as an Arcturian. That was your first ever soul life. That was your life. Stop being so defensive. Why are you questioning this so much? If it's not for you and you're not ready and you're not awakened enough, that's okay. You don't have to be. You can move on from this and you can come back to it whenever you're ready. It'll still be here. It'll be here forever. The information will be here for you forever on my channel. You don't have to experience your awakening yet if you're not ready. You're showing signs of being not ready. That's okay. It'll be here waiting for you when you are ready to take the journey. You're kind of in two minds here because you're defensive and scared and still healing from a past human trauma that you're going through, which is another reason why you might not be ready to receive these messages and downloads and go on your own meditative, why can't I say this word? Meditation. You're not ready to discover the human being, the starseed life, who you were beyond your human experience. So maybe the heartbreak that you're going through now, the trauma that you're experiencing in your human life is holding you back from committing and allowing yourself to be open enough to begin to even explore your life as a starseed beyond your human trauma that you're going through. You need to heal that trauma first before you can be ready to start your meditation sessions and learn all about your life as an Arcturian. Okay? Do it in your own time. Do it when you feel ready. Do it when you feel comfortable to your journey, because it will awaken you a lot. It'll awaken your inner starseed. It'll awaken that part of you that was an Arcturian. And once you relive those adventures, that part of you who still lives inside of you will come alive. You will wake up that starseed part inside of you, and she will just come alive, or he will just come alive once again. And then those qualities that embodied your life as an Arcturian will be with you in your everyday life. Okay. Again, you have, in your human life, you have a lot of trauma. You had a lot of fighting. You had a lot of neglects coming to mind. I don't know why. Maybe someone neglected your feelings or emotions. But you did walk away from somebody, or somebody walked away from you because you were just exhausted from the fighting. This is where this heartbreak happened. You're still going through it. You're still trying to heal this fighting and these emotions and the emotional trauma that you're experiencing within your human life. So it's okay. Spirit's acknowledging this, and you need to start healing within your own time and when you're actually ready to heal, okay? You will be ready though. You will be ready to go on this deep meditative, I said the word meditative, exploration and find out who your starseed person was, who you were in your starseed life. You will go on this journey and you will open up to adventure, and you write down your adventures, and it may inspire you to go on to write a book as well, like I'm doing. You're going to be so transformed, so awakened, so in love with your Arcturian life, the one you lived many, many, many years before the human race even existed. This would have been your first ever life form. It wasn't even on Earth. It was on in another galaxy, in another constellation, on another planet. Your Arcturian self decided to give up that life because starseeds live forever. They have the choice whether they want to die and their soul passes into another body, and your Arcturian soul decided to end its life, and it could have had eternal life as an Arcturian on Arcturus, but it decided to leave, and you decided to become a human being, and you've had many past lives, I bet you, through the eons, through the last couple of 100 years, and you've had many, many past lives, and it led you up to the person that you are today. You carry aspects and qualities from each of those other past lives that you've lived, and they make you the person that you are today, including your starseed life, your very first life. They make you the person you are today. So, Arcturian, I hope you enjoyed your message. Please heal the human trauma that you're suffering. Do that first and foremost, and when you feel ready, and are ready to do so, start your meditation, start your research, learn more about your life as an Arcturian, your first life, the one that was created for you, that led the way to the rest of your lives and the person that you are today. Take care. I hope this helped. Bye. Group 2, hello and welcome to your Starseed life and Starseed message. Group 2, you are from Andromeda. You are Andromedan. Your qualities are very loving, telepathic, benevolent, peaceful, and saviors. So an interesting fact about the people from Andromeda was that they are labeled as saviors, okay? So what that means is there's another planet called reptilians, and they are lizard-like people who enslave human beings and who enslave other starseeds, and they take them as slaves because they're an evil race. They're known as an evil race, okay? And a fun fact about Andromedans is that they actually help release reptilian slaves. That's why they have the name saviors. Interesting fact there. So as an Andromedan, so if you didn't watch, I have to say this at the start of everyone's messages, because a lot of you would not have watched the introduction video that I made. So our starseed life was our first ever life, okay? Starseeds are not human beings, they're entities, and they are from all the different constellations within the universe, okay? The planet you're from is Andromeda. You are the race of people known as Andromedans. I've read some of your characteristics out for you. Andromedans were known a lot for helping release the enslaved reptilian prisoners. Okay? Interesting fact there. But that was the big role that they played within their planet, within the makeup, your DNA. So that might come within your natural life. So where this was leading to, I do sometimes go on a tangent, and I do rave on a bit, okay, and I go off subject quite a lot. So what I was getting at is So your starseed life was your first ever life. It's not a human life. We're all entities as starseeds, okay? Starseeds don't die. They have the option whether they want to reincarnate into a human soul, or they can choose to live forever within their own planet, or they can travel to other planets. The possibilities are endless. So you could have stayed in your life as an Andromedan. Obviously not though, because you're now a human being and you'll choose to leave your first life and have many, many past lives throughout the hundreds of years that we've lived on Earth. And each quality from your starseed life and each past life that you've had still live within you. They still make up part of your DNA. They still are part of the person that make you who you are today. They are part of your DNA makeup. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know and I'm happy to explain it again, alright? It's just saying, your starseed stealth still lives within you. You still have qualities from your starseed life that live in the life you're living today, and from each of your past lives that you've lived as well. So, Mr. or Mrs. Andromeda, let's find out what your Andromedan self wants to say to you. What does your starseed self want to say to you? Have I got these upside down again? I have. In group 1, I had my whole deck upside down and they will all come upside down. I was like, what's going on? I apologise, I've done it again. Let's get your Andromedan message from your Andromedan starseed life. What message does your starseed self want to pass on? Oh, okay, interesting. Nice. Acknowledging the saviour that is inside of you and the saviour life that you've lived and touched. Beautiful. Oh. Okay, interesting. Nice. Let's get one more card. What a beautiful message here that your Andromedan self is passing on to you. Okay, so there is acknowledgement here that you spent a lot of time alone. The Hermit. You were quite happy being alone within your time on Andromeda. Maybe you chose not to get a partner in life. Maybe you just were not attracted to the opposite sex, because I'm not sure. I know that in my past life I took a husband and I am in this life still attracted to men. I'm not sure of the sexuality rules and rules of partnership back in different planets. So that could be one thing that you could investigate as well, because your investigation into your Andromedan life and your life in Andromeda does not have to stop here. Okay, another thing you can do to do more exploration, to find out more about your story, is to do meditation. It's vital, you must get yourself into a deep dreamlike state, but still be conscious, obviously. You need a tape recorder or a journal nearby so you can write down all your adventures once you wake up. So you need to get yourself in a dark room, put on some soft music, some nice smelling candles. Do not be disturbed. That is the biggest thing to remember here. So, and then you just ask yourself to time travel back through the portal to your starseed life when you were living on Andromeda. Ask questions. What was your life like? Was I male or female? What was my name? What was my family like? What did I actually do in my life? You can find out all these things. They will inspire you and they will tell your story, so you can find out more of your life beyond the messages that I'm telling you, because there's going to be a lot of collective watching this message, and it's going to be for parts of it may be for one person, parts of it may be for another. Whatever it is, take what resonates with you, leave behind what doesn't. You yourself can go on your own journey and find out more through meditation about your own adventures on Andromeda, and find out the qualities that make you you. Okay? So that's how you can find out more about your life on Andromeda and what you did there. A lot of you were happy alone though. You didn't want a partner. You didn't want children. Maybe you're an outcast. Maybe you're a black sheep. Whatever the case was, you could have even been a slave. Someone saved you. You were a reptilian slave and somebody saved you. But during your enslavement, you were alone. You were in a dark cage, alone. You went through a dark time and you spent a lot of time alone in your own skin, with your own company. You enjoy your own company still. You find it hard to create friendships. You find it hard to form bonds and stay in relationships. You are quite happy in your own company, within your own presence and being. And this is a quality that's happened to you from your starseed life. It does show that someone rescued you from your enslavement. Somebody came in like a horse, like a prince on a white knight, and saved you. And it gave you hope. It did change your life. You still lived in the dark quite a lot, and you were happy alone quite a lot, but you were starting to transform from being saved and freed from your enslaved life. You started to free people. You started to change. You started to join the movement and join the brotherhood or sisterhood, whatever you were joined in. And you started freeing the enslaved reptilian captures as well. You joined the movement. You freed the captured. Your life is starting to transform. What's interesting is, I don't know if you can see, in this Hermit card, the sun beyond your shoulder, within that card, the hope, the change, it's all coming. And it is coming. It did transform in your life. But you'll never lose that aspect of liking being alone, liking your own company, having trouble forming bonds within your own being and other people. It's slowly changing. You are getting better. But this is what makes up your own DNA in your starseed life. This is what happened throughout your starseed life. And still stuck with you in your human life today. It is transforming though. You have grown quite a lot. 8 of Pentacles, or materials in this deck. Extreme growth through change, extreme growth through learning, extreme change through hard work. You're changing as a human being. You're changing as a complete person. The experiences that you've had as a starseed in your starseed life and through all your past lives, I think you've experienced a lot of trauma. You may have experienced a lot of trauma within your human life. It's caused you to go through this complete change, complete growth as well. You still have those aspects, as I said before, of like being alone, and forming bonds is hard for you. But you did join the movement. You do enjoy helping people. You do enjoy freeing people. You do enjoy other people's companies. But you can only take small portions or small parts of people at a time. I think large groups of people overwhelm you. You're not quite ready for that yet. I don't think you'll ever be ready for that. Because you enjoy your own company too much. But you're slowly growing and changing every day. You do miss your old life quite a lot. And your people from Andromeda, friends, community, you miss them all quite a lot. You decided to leave your life because during our starseed life, starseeds live forever. They do not have to die. You can choose to end your life and come into a human existence, which you chose to do. You chose to not live your starseed life forever. You chose to become a human being, and you've had many past lives throughout the last couple of 100 years. You do miss your friends and family on Andromeda. I think the family you were born into, you were the black sheep and you had a falling out with them, so you do not miss them. You formed new relationships. You formed new friendships. You formed friendships especially with those reptilian captors that you killed and with those reptilian slaves that you helped free. You became deep friends with them. You formed deep connections with them. You are missing them deeply. You're being called to meditate and go visit them once again, because they are still living to this day. Some of them didn't choose to end their life and take on the human form like you did. Some of them are still there waiting to visit you. May not have or be strong enough or awake enough to meditate to find out more about your Andromedan self. They may visit you in their dreams. In your dreams, I meant. They may visit you and pass messages on in your dreams or through your guardian angels or ancestors. They may be your spirit guides or ancestors. They're missing you, wanting you to visit them and revisit your life that you lived together on Andromeda. They do wish you had stayed behind. They do wish that you had stayed with them and continued life on Andromeda with them. As I said, their energy is showing up here. 3 friends in particular, 3 female friends, are missing you in particular. They stayed and lived on as starseeds in Andromeda. They stayed living their lives. They do miss you though, deeply. But you wanted this new beginning. You wanted new exploration. You wanted a new beginning on Earth as a human being. You wanted to experience family life. You wanted to experience love. You wanted to experience harmony and all the emotions that human beings came with, because there's not exactly the same emotions within a starseed life that there is within a human being's life. You wanted a different experience because the experience you were born into was not that great. You were the black sheep. You had a falling out with your family. Your family didn't appreciate you. So you wanted to be born into a family that would love you, and you wanted to create that bond and that, that beautiful experience with having a mother and a father and a close-knit family. You wanted this desperately. That's why you decided to end your life and move on with your life from a starseed to a human being. You made the transition and you started this new beginning. You started your human being process. Okay. You have had many, many, many interesting past lives, okay? You have the 3 of Wands or 3 of Inspiration in this deck. You've had a lot of adventures. You've had a lot of trauma. You've had a lot of love. You've had a lot of interesting past lives, especially adventures. Napoleons come to mind about one of them. You can also meditate and find out yourself about your past lives as well. You should go on and find out all about your past lives, because a lot of them have been very adventurous and very exciting ones indeed. So this was your message that your starseed self wanted to convey to you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can go on to meditate and find out more about your life as an Andromedan person. Andromedan starseed, because you weren't a person, you turned into a person in your human form, but you were a starseed in your Andromedan life. Group 2, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you. Take care. Bye. Hi Group 3, welcome to your reading about your starseed self. You chose Group 3. You were drawn to Group 3 characteristics. So you are from Orion. You are Orions. Your characteristics are very inquisitive. Maybe that's why you're watching this tarot reading. Thinkers, deep thinkers. You love science, so you're very fascinated by everything that's scientific. But you do lack emotional maturity. That's okay. You're not great when it comes to love or your emotions in general, but you have great other aspects towards your own being, so we won't hold any fault towards you, because everyone's made up differently, aren't they? And you're just not great at love. Maybe you're scared of love. Maybe you just don't care about love at this point in time, whatever the situation is. You know what your situation is. You're just not very mature when it comes to emotional issues. That's alright. That makes you you. Okay. So, other things I need to mention before I get into your message is that your starseed self still lives within you. Your starseed is not a human being. They are entities. That would have been your first life that you ever lived. Starseeds are from different constellations within the galaxy. You're from Orion. Okay. Orion, I'm kind of getting Men in Black vibes. Have you seen the movie Men in Black where Orion's belt is on the dog's little dog chain? I'm getting, every time I think of Orion, I think of that moment. It takes me back to that moment during Men in Black. But as an Orion, your Orion self and your Orion starseed life wants you to discover more about your life during a star scene on the planet Orion. The way to do that is through meditation. You just have to lay in a dark room, get yourself in a deep meditative dreamlike state. Obviously still conscious, not asleep. Have a tape recorder next to you or a phone next to you where you can record the messages, speak the messages out loud. Play some soft music, play some, burn some nice candles, get yourself in a really relaxed, dreamlike state. You can connect with your Orion starseed life that you lived. You can find out your name, find out about your life on Orion, find out about what you did in your day-to-day life. You can even find out your family and friends. You can reconnect with yourself and find out who you were and what qualities you have in that life, and those qualities still make you who you are today. Your starseed Orion self still lives within you and may make up the qualities to your DNA that you still experience today. It's just like your past lives. You can do the same with all the past lives that you've had in the human form, and you still carry those qualities from each past life that you've had within you today. Okay, now that I've got that spiel out of the way, I have to do this 8 times, that spiel, so don't worry about it. It's like a repetitive record. Let's find out what your Orion self wants to say to you. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, get your story, figuring out who you are. Whoa. Very defensive though, aren't you? Very defensive people, I think. Very inquisitive, very fascinated by that and everything in the galaxy and scientific, but when it comes to your emotions, you're like a tap. You just turn them off. You just turn them off and your story is conveying this. Wow. Okay, change is coming for you guys. You guys may have lived more than one starseed because I'm seeing one side cold and one side changing. So let's just get one more card and I'll go through what I'm talking about. Yep, new beginnings. You guys definitely may be light workers or made up of indigo or rainbow soul family. If you're from any of those soul families or a light worker, you may have lived on more than one constellation. So if you were drawn to more than one constellation other than Orion, go and watch that group as well, because there's a message waiting for you there as well, because you do have change coming. You're not all emotionally void, okay? There is some change here. This is only for some of you. Some of you are strictly just Orion, okay? So take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Some of you are just Orion. Some of you are definitely pulled to another starseed family as well. So you would have lived on 2 different constellations, okay? You struggle with making decisions in general, especially when it comes to emotional decisions. As I said, when it comes to love, when it comes to new friendships, when it comes to even choosing a new job where any emotional attachment is involved, you're just like, nah, I'm out, can't do it. Maybe you can't commit. Maybe you can't commit to not even a person, but to a job. Or it may be simple as can't commit to choosing what flavour ice cream will excite you the most. Whatever the decision is, you struggle with making decisions. You can't make decisions. But it's funny though, when it comes to something that fascinates you like science, or say like Star Wars. I don't know, I'm not a science person. I don't get the whole science world, okay? Maybe like elements. I know about elements, okay? So CO2 is air. When someone's talking about science or asking you to make a decision or do a speech about science, your excitement level is just there. You're present, you're there. You're in it. You're all in, okay? So when it's something that you're actually interested in and it sparks that emotional excitement in you or within you, you're all present, you're all there, you're all in, you're ready to go. But for most things, you're just like the King of Swords, and you got the King of Swords. You struggle to make decisions, you struggle with commitment, you struggle with anything that emotionally just comes close to you. This may have to deal with some of you from past hurt and past trauma, from not being treated great in the past, being cheated on, just thinking that you don't want to let anyone in or get close because you're scared of getting hurt. You need to heal this trauma, okay? You cannot be the King of Swords throughout your whole life. You cannot just get excited for when science comes on TV. You need to expand and explore the emotional side of you. You need to start getting into a heart space and thinking and acting from a heart space, not just an ego or egotistical 3D frame of mind. Yes, you're an Orion. Yes, you're very inquisitive naturally. Yes, you love science. Yes, you're a deep thinker, but you lack emotional maturity. You struggle when it comes to commitment. You struggle when anyone gets close to you. You even struggle to pick the right flavour of ice cream because it might excite you or might make you happy. Okay? Not everything in your world has to be about science. And if I'm talking about science, it's because that's what excites you. If it's not science that excites you, that's fine. That's just an example characteristic. It may be money that excites you. It may be love that excites you. It may be something totally different that excites you. Whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. Take it, flip it, apply it to what excites you. Okay? But don't go around thinking and acting from an egotistical point of view and place within your life. You need to start acting and thinking within a heart space and from a heart space, and you need to try and gain emotional maturity, not immaturity anymore. And you need to heal the past or that trauma that you've been through, and you need to start growing emotionally as a person, okay? And I do see these transformations coming. I do see them coming. That's why I see you may have spent some of your lifetime as a starseed on Orion, and you may be stuck in this. Maybe all the people on Orion are like this and just egotistical and only act out of a place from what excites them in their heart space, not just everything that excites them and that should excite them naturally in their heart space, okay? So maybe you got sick of the life on Orion and you traveled to another constellation because you wanted to mature emotionally and you wanted to love and you wanted to have a family. But being restricted on Orion within Orion's conformity didn't allow for this to happen. So you traveled to another constellation to expand your life and the knowledge of your life and allow that emotional change to take place. Because you do have the Ten of Swords, total endings. Total endings in one way of the life that you were living. That's why I went on to say that I think you're leaving Orion. I think you have left Orion. I think you grew up on Orion. But getting into your teenage years, you wanted love. You wanted a partner. You wanted a family. You wanted more than science. Science wasn't exciting you and it wasn't enough anymore. You wanted to let go of the person that you've been transformed to be. Sorry, that did not make sense, did it? You wanted to let go of the person that you were tailored to be. Because everybody in your family is the same. Everybody on Orion is the same. They didn't love. Even if you did have a family and did have children, There was like a need to do it, not a want or a love to do it. It was done purely out of the need to breed. Okay? There was no love there. It was done just to have a child. It was done just because they needed to repopulate. Maybe they were even ordered to do it. Maybe they even find a science reason to do it. I don't know. But they lack emotional maturity. And that is the big reading, part of your reading here. You wanted more and you wanted to leave. You found it very hard to leave, to open up to your family, to tell your family that you wanted to travel and leave and you wanted a different life. You found it very hard. But you did leave eventually. You wanted more. This is the page of materials, the page of wands. So it is showing you wanting to take actions. Sorry, it's not the page of wands. Page of materials. Why have I got a mind blank about what that is? I've got a complete mind blank. Inspiration is wands. Oh, coins. Page of coins. I had a complete mind blank then. Page of coins. New, stable beginning. That's what you wanted. It happened very slowly, but it did happen. You're like an infant going to your family, telling them you were leaving. You were leaving the planet. You wanted another life, and in order to get that life, you had to leave the planet. That's how extreme your culture on Orion was. They're formed in a very structured way, in a very, confined way. They don't love. They do things out of the need to reproduce. They do things, they're just very structured in their civilization, and they don't allow any change. They don't allow any love. They don't allow anyone to conform and change. But you were different. You wanted love. You wanted to move on to another galaxy, and you did. You did move on to another galaxy. I'm not sure what galaxy you moved on to. I'd love to explore your story with you. So if you'd like me to help you with exploring your life beyond Orion, get in touch with me. My email's below in the description. I can help you find out what your story is through meditation and through sessions. But it was a successful life. Wherever you explored to, wherever you ended up, it was a successful life. One way of finding out, if you don't want to meditate, is to just go back to the original list of the group of 8 that I've listed. Find out what else you're drawn to, what you're attracted to. What other qualities within those groups are calling to you, that talk to you, that reach out to you. Compare them. Whatever talks to you the most, whatever calls you in the most, is your second home. You may even have a third home, you never know. I had 4 homes I lived on, 4 planets that is starseed I lived my life on. Whatever planet you travelled to was successful for you. You chose the right planet, you chose to make the right decision, you chose to leave and live a life beyond your Orion conformity. Okay? Your life was a success. You were very victorious and very popular within the community. You delivered messages and you did work hard within the community, and you were a very valued member of the community, and you had a very successful home life as well. It shows, this is why I'm saying you may have lived on more than one planet, because you have the change, the ending to your life on Orion and travelling to another planet which was victorious for you, okay? And then again, you go through another change, death. You go through another rebirth. This could literally be talking about you deciding to end your life as a starseed and become a human being. I'm not sure if I explained how that works in your introduction video, but starseeds don't have to die. They can choose to live their starseed life forever. They're still around today, from eons ago. Starseeds were around before men were even thought of, before mankind came into existence, before Earth was even in existence. There are starseeds still alive, living their life from when you lived your life as a starseed. So this may be signifying you chose to end your life as a starseed, and you chose to start being a human being and live your human being life, or your life as a human being, or you could have chose to leave what planet you lived on during your second life as a starseed. So it's the same life. First was Orion, then you travelled to somewhere else and was very successful within the community. And you may have travelled to a third planet again and changed your life again. But I think this is more signifying that you ended your life as a starseed and decided to transform into the human form. This is what I'm thinking for 95% of you. 5% of you would have lived on 2 or more planets. That was a long message. Very long message. We finally got there in the end. So I'm glad you're transforming and you're allowing yourself to love and you allowed yourself to love. You may carry these qualities within your life now, and maybe you're still transitioning into the emotional realms that you want to live in within today's life. Whatever stage you're at, I hope you're enjoying the ride. I'm proud of you for making the changes and living the life you truly want to live, because it's hard to make change. It's hard to be emotional. Emotions and getting hurt sucks. But never forget your roots. Never forget where you came from. And that was Orion. You were born on Orion. Maybe you went back to Orion to die. Who knows? Who knows? You can find out through your meditation. If you want me to help you, I'm happy to help you. Send me an email. Connect with me. Leave me a comment. Take care. Group 3. Bye. Hi Group 4. Thanks for watching, Starseed. Welcome home. Group 4. You are Syrian. You are from the planet Sirius. There are 2 planets that evolve around Sirius. There's Sirius A and Sirius B. Which side do you feel pulled to? A or B? Do some research, find out. Now I do have to mention that starseeds don't live forever. Sorry, got that wrong, didn't I? It's been a long night. I've been recording for quite some hours now. That's okay. I'm going to have a break after this group and keep going. Sirenians have 2 planets, A and B. Starseeds can choose to live forever if they choose to. Some of them choose to die and end their life and start their lives as a human being. Starseeds were around eons before Earth was even thought of, before even mankind was thought of. The starseed still existing today from when you lived your life as a starseed. Your starseed self still lives within inside you, within your core being. They make up your DNA. They make you who you are today. They were your first life you ever lived. You can find out more about your life as a Sirenian through deep meditation. Get into a deep meditative state, a dreamlike state, but don't fall asleep obviously. Have a tape recorder or a journal nearby so you can write down what you've discovered during your Sirian life, your life as a Sirian starseed. Your constellation was called Sirius. You lived on either Sirius A or Sirius B. Your personality or your characteristics are made up as split personalities. You can jump from one personality to the next. You may have Gemini in your chart somewhere. You're very awakened, or you're going through an awakening, a sense of wanting more, or wanting to know more, or wanting to know who you were in your starseed life that makes you who you are today. And you're very spiritual as well. So I tend to just jump from one subject to the next, so bear with me. I will get back to you about your meditation, okay? I'm sorry I went on a tangent now. I tend to go on tangents and just I'm so excited about doing this video and excited about bringing this message to you about your starseed life that I just want to say so much and I just want to go blah, 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 blah. I want it all to come out. Okay, so to find out more about your Sirian life, Sirian, I'm just going to call it Sirenian. You can get into a meditative state, okay? Quiet, nice candles burning. Do not be disturbed. That's the biggest thing. Dreamlike state. Ask to reconnect to your starseed life. Ask to reconnect and travel through the portal back to the time during your starseed life. You can find out your name, your family, what you did in your everyday life. There's so much you can explore as your starseed family. And you'll find out about your everyday life, and you can write down your adventures and what you did, who you met, your name. There's so much you can find out about it. It is so exciting. The qualities that make you, you, as your starseed self, are still within you today. You can find out about what these qualities are and why you do the things you do, why you are the way you are. It's exactly the same with all your past lives. You can, through meditation, you can explore your past lives and you can find out what qualities you picked up from those past lives and why you are the way you are today. I hope that helped. I do ramble on a bit, I'm sorry. But let's get your message from your Cyrenian self. Find out what message your Cyrenian self wanted to say to you. Have I got my deck upside down again? I do. I've done this 3 times now. Keep having my deck upside down. I don't know why. Let's put it the right way up. Okay. What message does the Cyrenian self, Cyrenian starseed, want to say to you? Ooh, the world cosmos. How exciting. Nice. We've come up with split personalities, alright? You've got 2 different personalities come out so far. I get 1 or 2 cards then? 2. Nice. Aww, beautiful. Okay. Alright, so acknowledging you are a very, very strong individual, okay? So you may have lived on more than one not more than one starseed life, on more than one planet as well, because especially if you're a light worker, you're made up of different soul families, indigo, violet, or rainbow soul families. I've got it in my introduction. Go and watch it. It's all fascinating. You want to learn all as much as you can. You may have just lived on A and B, Sirius A and B, but you could have travelled to different planets as well, okay? I've lived on 4 planets during my life as a starseed before I started my human lives, okay? This is acknowledging that you did travel through the cosmos. You did live on more than one starseed planet. You were born on Sirius. You lived a lot of your life on Sirius. I'm not sure whether it's Sirius A or B. You're going to have to find that out for yourself. If you need help, that's fine. Contact me. I'll help talk you through it. I'll help you discover it. But you did travel through the cosmos. Maybe you just traveled and visited people. But you did live in different planets during the galaxy. Throughout the galaxy. I don't know why I said during then. You did live on different planets throughout the galaxy. And the way you can discover what other planets you lived on is by going back through the group of characteristics of the groups that I've listed and see what else you're pulled into. See what other characteristics speak to you. What are you pulled into? It may be more than one of them. Maybe 1 or more. Go back and have a look. What speaks to you? What pulls you in? Go and listen to that message as well, because you have more than one message waiting for you. It is showing, the reason I said it is showing up your multiple personalities here is because we've got 7 of voices, then we've got the Emperor, then we've got the Queen of voices, so Queen of Swords, 7 of Swords, Emperor, and then we've got the 2 of emotions. You're made up of so many different personalities and emotions and traits. You're like a smorgasbord of food when it comes to your personalities and your emotional traits. So it is definitely acknowledging that you've chosen the right group, okay? Even though you've may have lived on more than one group, more than one planet, you definitely spent the majority of your life on Sirius. And you did pick up a lot of traits along the way. So part of you was very cunning, to be polite. You weren't the nicest of people at times. You were deceitful, you lied. Maybe you thought it was a white lie and you got away with it. But you weren't the best of honest people, shall we say. I think you like to do whatever benefited you and your being, maybe your family, but this side of your personality is not one that you're proud of, and I don't think you like to show this side or talk about this side of yourself very much. The not so nice side of yourself, in a sense. Emperor, you were maybe a boss type energy. You were well known within your community. You were a leader maybe even in your community. You were well known and loved. This is where the deceit kind of comes in, because Seven of Swords in the traditional tarot talks about deception and, wanting to walk away from battle and lies and cheating and just not a nice energy. But you were in charge. You were the emperor. You may have even been the emperor. We never know. But you got away with being cheeky. You got away with being Seven of Swords. You got away with being deceitful. So people let you get away with it. I don't think they liked it, especially your wives. And I think you had more than one wife if you're a male during your Syrian life. I think you had many partners and many wives, and they did not like that you were sharing yourself with so many of them. I'm sorry to say, this is the message that is coming up. But you definitely were a leader, maybe even an emperor in your past life, in your starseed life. Whoa, maybe you were an emperor in your past life. You're going to have to explore that and let me know. Wow. You're very emotional as well, so you're very loving towards some people. So there was a part of you also that was very kind and loving. You're kind of all over the place. Your personalities were definitely split and definitely all over the place. Very emotional, very loving, very giving. It's like you're a leap. I just got a vision of a frog leaping in my mind. You leapt from one emotion to the next. Loving, lying, cheating, boss mode. What one do you want to do? Which one do you want to be? You can't decide. You couldn't just stick to one and be that one consistent person. You're all over the shop. This is just your energy and who you are, and it's what made you, your unique starseed that you were. It's making me really dizzy in a sense, because I don't know how you did it. It's a lot of energy. Also, Queen of Voices. So you may have been a queen as well. You don't know if you were the emperor or the queen. This could be reflecting your queen that you had as well. She was sick of your bullshit, to be blatantly honest. She wanted to chop your head off with her sword. She hated your lies. She hated you sleeping around. She hated the people that you slept with and lied to her about being at Macca's instead of going to work, whatever the situation was. She hated your lies. She did not like you very much. I think you were very kind and loving and so in love with her. And she was so in love with you. At one stage it was just you and her. And then you became emperor, or you became leader through death or circumstances you were voted in, and it went to your head big time. Your status within the community changed, promotion changed, and you got the biggest ego. You thought you were King Dick, and you thought you could do whatever you wanted. But your queen remembered who you were before this, and she remembers the time you had just between you and her, the beautiful tender moments that you had. She remembers all that. She hasn't forgotten, don't worry. And she wants to chop your head off with a sword now for all the deceit and lies, and for the split personalities and the non-consistency, and she hates the person you've become today. Is this resonating with someone? This is a harsh message for somebody, but just know, this is just part of your DNA. This is your makeup. This is who makes you who you are. You're not down to earth. I think you want to be down to earth. I think you want to be this beautiful, beautiful person that you were in your previous life, before the power and the fame and before the rise to being well known. I don't know what your circumstances is. I don't know if it's just like a job promotion. I don't know if you're boss of your company, you've won money, You actually are a leader. Whatever is going on, you've changed. And you think it's changed for the better. The people that really know you think it's changed for the worse. And the person who you were before changing was a beautiful, beautiful, pure soul. Now you've let power go to your head a bit. And the people that knew you before you changed don't like the person you are today. You're not changing who you are anytime soon either. You're stuck in this egotistical power trip. There is no new beginning soon. Death is reversed. So you're not going to be changing anytime soon. You're not going to be pleasing anyone anytime soon either. You're quite happy with the person you are, with the life you're living, with the way you're living. You might lose some people along the way, but that's just part of life's journey, isn't it? If they don't resonate with the life we're living or the people we are or the life we're living anymore, we lose them. We let them go because they're not on our wavelength anymore. They're not on our vibe anymore. They're not meant to come into our next chapter with us. There isn't a new beginning for you. You're quite content living the way you are. You are content with being the person that you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't see any personal problem with the way you are, or you're not worried about losing people that you once loved deeply, then that's your choice. You do have free will at the end of the day, okay? This message might not be for everybody. Might be for a particular person. Aspects of it might be for you. Whatever it is, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't, okay? Know that certain aspects of this story are from your starseed life, and they're just kind of making up the characters and the characteristics of your DNA. Maybe it's not even your DNA, maybe it's your brother's DNA, or your dad's DNA, or your sister's DNA, or your cousin's DNA. Might be even your friend's DNA, because you have the same friends from, how you did when you did as a starseed. Whatever it is, you can discover your starseed story by meditation, through meditation. These are just the qualities that have come out, the messages that have been passed on from your starseed self about your starseed life, from your time on Cyrus. Not Syria, Cyrus. You're Syrian. Wow. Okay. Group 4. I hope you liked your message. I'm sorry if it was a bit harsh for a lot of you, but that was the message that came out, and that was the message you needed to hear. I hope you can explore more about your Syrian life, your life on Cyrus, and I'll be fascinated to hear it. Let me know what comes from your story. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 5. Welcome home, Starseed. You are part of the Palladian planet. You are a Palladian from Pleiades constellation. You are, or may have, a large family. You may have Taurus in your chart somewhere. You're emotional, spiritual, of course, very conscientious and wanting to evolve. So always wanting to grow, always curious about how you can grow as a person and how you can grow as a human being. So just some maintenance I want to cover during your reading. I just had a total mind blank then. I don't know why. Very bizarre. Okay, during your starseed life, starseeds were living way before Earth was even thought of, way before mankind came into existence, okay? So starseeds have been around for eons. Starseeds are from all the different constellations within the galaxy. These are just the 8 known ones that, are well known throughout the galaxy, okay? Starseeds don't have to die. They don't have to choose to end their life. They can choose to be around forever and live their life as a starseed forever. Some starseeds from the time that you were a starseed and lived your starseed life are still living their starseed life now, today. So they've been living it for a long time. Starseeds can also choose to end their life and reincarnate into a human soul, which is you, okay? But they would have started a long time ago with your past lives. So you've had many past lives, and your first ever life you lived was as a starseed. Starseeds are not human beings. They are entities. Okay? A way you can find out more about your life as a Palladian or your starseed life is through meditation. So make sure you're in a dreamlike state. Make sure you have some nice candles burning. You are in silence. I also think it's a good idea to have a tape recorder or a diary or a journal next to you so you can wake up out of your dreamlike state and write down the adventures you've had during your starseed life. Travel back through the portal, be transported back to the time that you lived your life as a starseed, and find out your name, find out whether you're male or female, find out what you did in your everyday job. There's so much you can find out about the adventures you had as a Palladian. It's just mind-blowing. Remember, the qualities that embody you and make you who you are today in your human form stem back all through your past lives, all the way back to who you were as a Palladian, as your starseed life as a Palladian, okay? So you still have that makeup and that DNA from your past lives and from your starseed life within you today. So we're going to, from the tarot, find out what your starseed Palladian self wants to say to you. What's one of the messages they want to get across to you? This is what we're going to find out. Oh, nice. Oh, okay, nice. Don't worry, I will go for these messages. Okay, why is that reversed? Remember, you could have lived on more than one planet as well. Maybe you were born on Palladian, but you could have travelled and either visited or moved to another constellation as well. So you didn't have to stay on one planet. So if you found yourself drawn to more than one group in particular, then whatever else was calling to you, that's more than likely where you would have lived as well, or where you would have travelled to and visited, okay? You can live on more than one planet. I lived on 4 during my lifetime as a starseed. My starseed name was Andromeda. Very nice name. Okay, so bit of a mixed message here. I'm trying to understand it. It's a bit confusing. Maybe give me a bit emotional, maybe. That was a really sad joke on the spin of your characters. Anyway, let's just get back to your message, shall we? Ace of Voices, Ace of Swords. You had a brand new beginning. I feel like you spent your childhood on Palladian, as a Palladian on Pallades, but I feel like you would have travelled to a new planet. You would have got married and travelled to another planet, and I think you would have married someone, maybe you were even male, during your life as a Palladian. And because I'm getting that, okay, there's 2 different messages here, okay? So maybe a lot of people were drawn to life as a Palladian, okay? Because I'm getting lots of downloads coming in really fast, and it's making me a bit confused, to be honest. So I'm trying to get them out as quick as I can and trying to make sense of all the downloads I'm getting from my guides, okay? And from your starseed life as a Palladian, because I don't just get messages from my guides, I'm actually getting your starseed from Palladian. They're here, they're present, okay? They're telling me the message that they want to portray to you. And there's quite a lot of them, because a lot of people are going to be watching this and a lot of people are going to try and get messages out to you. So I'm getting a lot of different downloads at the same time. That's how I know a lot of people are going to be drawn to the Palladian starseed. Okay. Completely new beginning. I think you spent your childhood on Pallades, okay? I don't think you stayed on Pallades. I think you travelled to another planet and settled there. And the reason I say that is because it was a new beginning. So you were born on Pallades and you spent your childhood only on Pallades. When you came into teenage years, you were born into wealth as well. So you're either born into royalty or like the rulers of the planet, because you got the Empress card. So you were born into royalty. You were born into substance. You were born into a good life, okay? You weren't born poor. You were born well established. So you're either, there's two stories I'm getting here. You're either male and you're like a prince, or you're like royalty or politics. I don't know if they have politics on Pleiades. I don't know much about that constellation as a whole. You can go on to research it and meditate and find out exactly your story and who you are and what you did. You are the male and you left Pleiades in order to marry an empress and start ruling another planet, or you were born an empress and you weren't set out to rule Pleiades and you travelled through another planet and settled there to marry someone else and rule that planet together. And look at that, it's pretty funny because she has planets on her. I didn't even notice that, planets on her gown. So you either married someone else and moved, or someone married you, and together you travelled and ruled. Together you travelled and ruled. Why is that coming out? You travelled to another planet and settled and ruled. Lots of downloads coming down. I'm getting a bit confused here, I'm not going to lie. Because you also got the King of Swords. So definitely, some of you were born male and married an empress and ruled and moved to her planet. Or you were the empress and you married this King of Swords type energy. King of Swords is very cold. They don't love that much. They don't show emotion that much. They're very stern in their way and set in their ways. So you would have married someone. You are this beautiful emotional empress, and you would have married someone that was cold and stoic towards you. You would not have liked marrying this person, I'll tell you that much. So maybe you didn't even agree to your marriage, the terms and conditions of your marriage, and you were forced to marry. And that's why in today's world, you might even struggle with commitment. You might struggle with connections that are nothing other than pure love. Remember, the qualities we carry from our starseed life embody us today. They still make us a part of our DNA as of today. They make us the person we are today. So to pick up what you can from your story and try and make sense of it now as to why you are the way you are in your life, everyday life now. You were forced to marry. You weren't happy about it either. You were not happy. I felt like your opinion was not heard, and it's funny in saying that, two of voices, two of swords. Your decision wasn't warranted, wasn't wanted. You had no say on what direction your life took. You were forced. This is getting a bit dark. This is getting a bit, I'm not liking where the story's going. It's not all light and love like I wanted the messages to be. Well, I guess that's part of our everyday lives, isn't it? Not everything's about light and love, so can't expect everything to be rosy. Your voice wasn't heard. Your opinion wasn't heard. You were not listened to. Your dreams, goals, and desires were not listened to. Your account of what was going on was not listened to. You're invisible. You may even feel this way now in your everyday life, and you try and battle this energy and struggle with it in your everyday life now. Whew, heavy energy there. I'm going to put this hematite on me because it's feeling very heavy at the moment. Yeah, there was a delay in, it's like a false start. You saw your world going one way and you envisioned your life being lived one way, and then your parents stepped in and said, no, you're doing this. You're going to this planet. You're going to rule this planet. And you have no say. You're going to marry this horrible human being who won't love you. Yeah, it's horrible. You're being forced. And it's not a nice energy. It was like a false start. You envisioned your life going one way. And the course that you lived was completely opposite way. the force and the trauma that you endured was horrible. Because you wanted exploration, you wanted love, you wanted happiness, you wanted a happy family. You saw your life going this way, and it was false start, and you were forced to go another way. It's giving me a headache. This is actually giving me a headache. I'm going to have to pause this video and take some Panadol. Such a strong message there. It wasn't a great message, but I'm hoping it makes sense to you. I hope within your life that you're living now, if you had endured these tough times, if you have experienced aspects of what I've explained, or if you've been through trauma and a repeat trauma of this in your life now or in the past, this is ancestral trauma that you've picked up, and it hasn't been healed during your past lives or your starseed life. It was created in your starseed life, and it's been passed down from generation through generation, and it still hasn't been healed. That's why you're experiencing it still. Aspects of this trauma or aspects of the cycle just repeating itself until you heal it and break the cycle. Learn from it. Learn to heal the aspects of the hurt. Learn to heal the aspects of the qualities you've picked up from this starseed life. It's quite a heavy message to deliver. It's quite a heavy burden to deliver. It's quite a heavy burden on you to have to heal generational karma, generational trauma that dates eons, eons to your starseed life. And it's been passed down through your bloodline from generation to generation, and it still hasn't been healed yet. So please, please try and heal this trauma, heal this dark side of your shadow self, heal this generational karma that you've accumulated through your bloodline, and heal these aspects of yourself that you don't like. Look at me, like anxiously rubbing this hematite to ground my energy as I'm delivering this message. Please heal these aspects of your personality, of the qualities that make you you, and try and grow as a person and learn from the mistakes that have happened or that has been passed on to you, because it has instilled qualities within you that make you feel invisible and make you feel not heard and make you feel just like your opinion doesn't matter, and you just don't feel like should even, some of you, to be blatantly honest, function as a human being anymore. You're depressed. It makes you depressed and anxious. It makes you feel worthless and not worth living life. You are special. You're amazing. You can do amazing things with your life. You can be whatever you want to be. You just have a shitload of karma, generational karma, that stems back through eons, that has been passed on to you from your bloodline through the generations, that you can heal and cure and not pass on to your future generations. So please do a lot of healing work. Start healing those qualities within yourself that make you feel sad and insecure and not heard and not wanted. Heal every aspect of this part of you. Heal the shadow work within you. Heal the darkness within you. Don't let them take your light. Start striving to be a better person and a better version of yourself, because you have amazing things waiting for you. These things have been thrust upon you and built into your DNA to make you like this. These cycles can be broken, and this karma can be healed by you. Okay? You can transform not only your life, but your future generation's life, and stop this karma from being passed on to the next generation, okay? I know this was a heavy message to hear. I know this was a heavy burden to hear. A heavy burden that's been placed on your shoulders as well, and it's not fair. Start healing it. It is your bloodline's karma. You need to heal it, and you need to stop it from passing on to your next generation, okay? Start setting good examples for your children now and your children to come that will be born in the future. You set the example for them, for your children. Set good examples, heal the bad heal the dark, heal the karma, don't pass it on. It's not your fault. It's really sad and unfortunate that it hasn't been healed throughout your lifetimes. But you can change that. You can change it from passing on to your children and their children's children. Such a deep, dark message, but it's a positive in a way as well, because if you've especially had a run of bad luck, it'll stop here. You can make it stop. You will not pass that on to your children, okay? It stops with you. You can change your life and transform your life into something beautiful. You're awakening, and you can heal at the same time and transform your life. Whew. Deep, dark message, group 5. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it probably wasn't all light and rainbows like you wanted to hear. That was the message that was portrayed from your starseed self. I hope you can do what I've said and help heal what needs to be healed and start transforming your life. Take care. Bye. Welcome, Starseed. Welcome, Group 6. Welcome to my homeland, my birthland of Lemuria, or Mu. We call it Mu for short. You are Lemurian. I wonder if we were friends. I was born on Lemuria as my starseed life, as my starseed self. Just let's get some facts first down before I get into your message, okay? As a starseeds aren't human beings. They were entities that were around before human civilization was even thought of. Starseeds do not die. They have the choice whether they want to leave their body or stay in their body as an entity, as a starseed forever. They can choose to live in their starseed life forever, or they can choose to leave and inhabit a human form, a human body, a human soul as a sense. They can leave their soul. They can leave their entity, their life as a starseed, and go on to live a human race. I've been talking for hours. Give me a break. I just had a break and I'm fine. I'm ready to record. We're here. We're doing this. Be present. I know what I'm saying. It's in here. It's not coming out here. Alright. Focus. I'm going to hold and ground my energy with my hematite as I talk. Okay. So, to summarize, we've just started. Starseeds can choose to live forever. They're still around now, living their life from millions of years ago. The ones that didn't choose to live their starseed lives and to reincarnate as a human form are still living their lives today, on their planets today. Or they can choose to end their life and reincarnate as a human, in a human form, okay? So another message I want to get out to you is that you can choose to explore your life as a Lemurian starseed. You can actually choose to do this through meditation. So just get yourself in a dreamlike state. Have a journal or another phone recording your adventures and speak your adventures out loud. Have some nice candles burning, smelling candles, some soft music playing, and then just you can start asking questions about your life as a Lemurian. What was your name? What was your family's name? What was your mother's name? What was your sister's name? What did you do on your planet? You can find out what adventures you had and what adventures you did have during your Lemurian life. My life as a Lemurian was quite fascinating. I was born there. My name was Andromeda. Lemurians are obviously all-female race, very feminine. Your traits are, let's go through your traits. Feminine, you love your friends. You have a huge female friendship network, very close bonds. You're very healing naturally and very spiritual and very philosophical, very smart. During my mother's name was Celestia and my sister's name was We were naturally inseminated, and we didn't need a male to inseminate us to have children. We were just, so our eggs were actually already fertilized. And when Gaia, who was our goddess, Gaia, she ruled Atlantis and Lemuria. When she actually thought it was time for us to become parents, she gifted us with daughters, because we only had daughters. Unlike the Atlanteans, who were made up of the masculine race and lived in the next galaxy over, they were our neighbours though, and they were made up of masculines. They actually did have feminine energy as well, so they had males and females, and they have to actually inseminate their women or their partners to have children. But unlike Lemurian women, we actually are already inseminated, and Gaia chooses when to gift us with daughters. I went on to have one daughter called Persephone, which means warrior. But that was I lived on 4 planets during my life as a starseed, and I didn't have my daughter till very late on in life, in my starseed life. I did and accomplished a lot during my starseed life. I lived on 4 planets. So I was born on Lemuria. When I was 16, Gaia actually sent... So with Lemuria, I can tell you a lot about Lemuria because I've done a lot of research on Lemuria, okay? Because it's where I'm from. I don't know as much about the other planets as I do Lemuria because I am from Lemuria and I've researched it quite a lot, okay? So that's what you should go on to do. You should go on to research the planet that you're from, where your starseed's from, in order to get as much information as you can about your planet and your past. So through meditation, you can go back and explore your life as a Lemurian starseed. I have done that, and I'm writing about that too. So I can tell you a bit more about Lemurian life. In our culture, one of the daughters must stay home and look after their elders, which is their mothers. There are no males on Lemuria, just females. It is up to Gaia as to how many daughters they gift us with. I had one sister, so it was me and my sister and my mother in our family. So when I was 16 on Lemuria, Gaia decided to mix things up a bit, in a sense you could say, and she wanted to offer Atlantis some more women, some more feminine energy, if that's a nicer way of saying it. So she invited 10 Atlantean men to travel to Lemuria to meet females, if you like, in a sense, and in hope that they would make a pair and get married to them. I decided that I wasn't having any of this. I would let my sister Galaxia go and meet somebody and get married and go and live in Atlantis if she wanted to. So when the Atlanteans arrived, when I was 16, I went down to the dock, to meet these 10 Atlantean men that had come to visit our shores, to woo our women. And of course, I locked eyes with this handsome, blue-eyed, brown-haired, masculine teen called Ike. We locked eyes. He came straight over to me and I fell instantly in love. That was the story of how I met my starseed husband, Ike. So my sister also fell in love as well with one of the Atlantean men, and I was lucky because Gaia allowed our mother to move to Atlantis with us. So we moved to Atlantis when I was 16. So Lemuria is made up of primarily feminine energy. We are inseminated already with our children. We don't have to be inseminated by men, which does make it hard because Atlantean men like to inseminate their women and make love, in a sense. That's how they make a baby. I did go on to live on Andromeda and what was the other planet called? Andromeda, where I freed the reptilian captives, and I actually finished my life on Arcturus. and settled there and had a family there and was well known within the community there and changed the law. So starseeds had a big say in how human beings would live and were being created. And me and my husband were part of that law. And we made the law that people should have the choice whether they want to get married or not, whether they want to be free or be married. They should have free will and choose that. And we also implanted the law that humans should have to be inseminated to make a baby, and they shouldn't just have a baby when God gifted it to them. So they should need masculine and feminine energy for that, because we did enjoy making the baby together, and through our love, that's how a baby would be created. So myself and my husband did make those two rules for mankind, and I'm quite proud that I had a say in the way mankind came about. So that's just a bit of my story there about Lemuria and my experience as my starseed life. It's quite fascinating. I am writing about it right now. But anyway, I have rambled so much during this. I love this subject so much. I love my starseed life so much. And I'm forgetting that this is a video about you, not me. So let's get into your message from your Lemurian starseed life. Nice. Why is that reversed? Why is that reversed, huh? Okay, what message do we have from our Lemurian starseed life? Oh, okay. We have 3 starts here. So you guys, let's get our final card and we'll talk about these cards that have came out, okay? Nice. Alright, so it is showing 2 new beginnings here and 1 false beginning, okay? So you definitely have lived on more than one planet in the galaxy. So definitely the way you can find out what other planets you lived on, you can meditate and find out where you traveled to or where you settled in. Or you can just go back through the groups that I've listed where your characteristics are and feel what other group you're pulled to in a sense. And that would probably be the other planet that you lived on, okay? Because we have 2 new starts here and 1 false start. So I think you've lived on 3 planets altogether, and you would have had a 4th planet, but it's reversed. So you had a false start as well. Promise of a 4th planet, but maybe you didn't end up moving there, okay? I'll talk you through this, don't worry. So you start off with the Fool. So you may have been one of the sisters, and I call you sisters because on Lemuria we actually have the sisterhoods, the value of the sisterhood. So it was like the community of the sisterhoods. We did not have rules. We were not governed by rules. We were a free-standing race. We made our own decisions, and we were a very peaceful and loving race. So you may have been one of the sisters that actually left Lemuria to go to Atlantis, if you did meet one of the 10 Atlantean men that travelled there in the beginning of time. So you may have been one of the sisters that actually, you would have known me, you would have known my sister, so you're very familiar to me, obviously. And you may have travelled with me from Lemuria to Atlantis to marry an Atlantic man. But along the way, there was a blockage. There was a false start, okay? So maybe you fell in love with one of these men, but then they met somebody else and they fell in love with them. So they made a promise to you, but then they met someone else and it was a false promise. They lied. They found someone else more attractive. They found someone else more appealing. They found a different sister that they fell in love with, that they wanted to be with. So the promise for you was gone. The promise of starting anew was gone. The promise and the excitement of a new life in Atlantis was gone. It left you feeling devastated, unwanted, unloved. You found it very hard to get this person off your mind. You were addicted to them because you treated them, even though you only knew them for a short period of time and spent only a little bit of time with them, you fell in love deeply with them. You treated them like a king. And this is, we're talking, you were a teen at this time, remember, because it was around the time I was 16 in my starseed life. So you would have been around the same age. We were teens when we met these people. So you met them as a teen, and as teens you're very emotional, very loving, very feminine, and we know feminine energy is acting from a heart space as well. So instantly you met this person and you felt instantly in love, deeply in love. You became obsessed with them, and you kind of became too obsessed with them, and it kind of got toxic and in a dangerous place for you, which isn't a good thing. I feel like if your family would have had a say in this as well. Your family definitely did have a say in this. Ace of Materials. So they did want you to have a new beginning. They could see that you were yearning after this person, and because they rejected you, it was making you sick, and you were still obsessing over them to the point of you wanting to not live anymore, or wanting to just not, you weren't happy. It was making you sick. You had lost your strength through the whole thing. We'll get back to the strength, don't worry. But your family could see you needed a new beginning, away from Lemuria, away from Atlantis, away from the planets that had broken your heart, from the man that had broken your heart. They were being very practical about the situation. They wanted a new stable beginning for you. So they actually sent you away to another planet. Maybe they had friends or relatives living on another planet, and they offered to take you in and give you this new beginning. I'm not sure what planet you would have travelled to. Again, you're going to have to meditate, or you're going to have to see what other group you were pulled to discover your story and discover the extension of your story. I can only tell you what the cards are telling me, okay? So this is just a part of your story, the message that your starseed self wants to convey to you. Because remember, the qualities instilled with us today stem from our starseed selves. Our starseed selves were our first ever lives that we lived. So the qualities passed on from our starseed life and all of our past lives make us the person that we are today. We still carry the qualities and the traits from those lives of the past and from our starseed lives, and they make us the person we are today. This new beginning, when you left Lemuria, finally left Lemuria after a false start, made you very strong. The life that you lived after you left Lemuria and left Atlantis, or the promise or the false start of wanting to be in Atlantis, you left it all behind. You left the past behind, and you started a new life on another planet, another chapter, another beautiful, practical new chapter. Look at the woman you turn into. You are a beauty. Makes you strong, makes you a fighter, makes you become very strong-willed, emotional. You never forget the pain that man caused you, but it taught you to become stronger and a wiser version of yourself, and you accomplished amazing things in your life. This is the message that your starseed self wanted to convey to you. They do want you to discover more of your story. So hopefully you can meditate and find more about your story. You can find out more about your adventures as your Lemurian starseed life. I hope we were friends. I hope that even though you got a false start and you were hurt through your experience on Lemuria, you recovered and you were able to live a beautiful life, because you did. The strong woman you became in the end after leaving Lemuria and Atlantis. You became a beautiful, invincible, strong woman. An enviable woman in some sense. Group 6, That was a deep, beautiful message. I hope you liked it. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Group 7, how are you? Welcome home, Starseed. You are from Atlantis. Atlantis, how exciting. Yes, it was on Earth. Yes, it was before mankind, but you lived on Atlantis. You were made up of mostly masculine energies. You had deep friendships. You had a close-knit group of friendships that were made up of mostly male energy. You were very healing, very spiritual, and very philosophical. Now that we've gone over your characteristics that make you you, I just want to go over some housekeeping because I have been repeating myself and this to every single group, okay? So remember, you could have lived in more than one planet. You could have lived in many different planets during your life as a starseed. Now, starseeds are before mankind, before mankind was even came into existence. You lived on Atlantis, which was on Earth. So was Lemuria, which is mostly the feminine energy, and Lemuria and Atlantis were on Earth. Okay, but you were not human. Remember that. You're an entity, a starseed entity. So starseeds can choose whether they live in their starseed form for eternity. There are starseeds still living on their planets now. Right now, as we speak, they choose not to live their life as a starseed, okay? But obviously you chose to live your life as a starseed and reincarnate into the human form. Starseeds would have been your first ever life that you lived. They weren't human, they were entities. I apologize for messing up my words there. So you lived your life as a starseed. It was your first ever life. Your Atlantean starseed life. How exciting. Atlantis. I actually moved to Atlantis when I was 16 because I met my husband, Ike. I wonder if you are my Atlantean husband. You never know. We lived there until we were 24. So on Atlantis, you were very philosophical, very healing, very spiritual. You were made up of mostly masculine energy, yes, but you did have women in your culture as well, but it was like men outweighed women 2-1. So yeah, it was very hard for men growing up to meet new women. That's why they travelled to Lemuria to meet women there and connect with women there and marry women from Lemuria. Okay, you can actually find out more of your life as an Atlantean starseed through meditation. Get yourself in a deep meditative state. Make sure you're like in a dreamlike state. Have a tape recorder or a phone to record your adventures and speak your answers out loud. Or just have a diary close by so you can write down what your adventures were as an Atlantean starseed. You can actually find out who you were. I think a lot of you would have been male. You could have been female. You never know. Most of you would have been masculine though. You can find out your name, your family's name, what you did, how your character was, because you need to remember the qualities that embed us during our starseed life and during all of our past lives actually make us who we are today. Still carries inside with our soul who we are today. Alright? That's what you need to remember. The qualities that you carry from each of your past lives and your starseed life make you the person that you are today. So in saying that, let's jump in and find out what your Atlantean starseed self wants to say to you. This is only going to be part of your journey. I hope you go on and meditate and find out more to your Atlantean starseed life. Oh, beautiful. Opening strong with the sun. Oh. I think you lived a very happy life as a starseed. You lived on more than one planet, definitely. Nice. I wonder what happened to make you turn bitter and cold. Alright, so we're opening strong here with the sun, okay? You were extremely happy with your life as a starseed and Atlantis. You were very popular. I think you were definitely masculine. 100% think you were masculine. If you were feminine, that's okay. You can meditate and you can find out exactly who you were. But for the majority of you, you were masculine. You would have gone on to marry a Lemurian bride, definitely. It could have been me. I wonder if you're Ike and I'm Andromeda, and I wonder if you're my starseed husband. I'm really fascinated to know that. I really want to know. Okay, you were very happy. Even in childhood, you were very happy. You had very positive role models. Everything about your life was amazing. Childhood, teenage years, you met your wife, you were happy, you had a child or children. Everything about your life was amazing. Living on Atlantis, getting brought up with love, your life was amazing. I don't think you were extremely rich, but you had enough food and shelter. You had things that you needed to, survive in life. So I don't think you were well off with money, but I think you were well off with emotional love. And that was enough for you because it made you extremely happy. That's a really beautiful message. You did have a new beginning here though. So you did leave Atlantis. I'm not sure where you travelled to because I don't know your full story. But you definitely travelled to another planet. And the way of finding out which planet you went to is either meditating and finding out for yourself, or you can actually go through the groups that I've listed and actually feel out whatever characteristics you feel pulled to, and that would more than likely be the planet that you travelled to. I feel like there would have only been you would have been on Atlantis for most of your life. Maybe you maybe you met someone and moved to another planet to settle with them. But there definitely is talk of a new beginning and travel, and traveling for love, definitely for love, because two of emotions. So you traveled for love, you traveled to meet a soulmate, you wanted marriage and a family and a child, you wanted a family unit. So definitely showing travel for love. It could even be just you settled on Atlantis and you went back to Atlantis, but you definitely travelled. I feel like you definitely travelled to Lemuria for love. And you definitely would have been one of the 10 Atlantean men who travelled for love because they wanted love. You did have aspects of yourself that turned you cold though, and I'm not sure why. I'm really intrigued to know what turned you cold, but I'm not sure why. Maybe your wife passed away or decided to reincarnate into human form before you, or was deceitful towards you and found another lover. Something happened though, and it turned you extremely cold. I'm not sure what circumstances has turned you cold, but the King of Swords talks about being very stern, very unloving, very set in his ways, very cold. So you go from this loving, happy, sun, beautiful moment, then you get your soulmate, and something happens, I'm not sure what, it turns you into a King of Swords, and it's just a cold energy. Page of Emotions we finish with. It's like you're all up in your head. Your heart has been broken and you don't know how to get back to your happy. You're emotionally broken, emotionally all over the place. And it's not a nice energy to be caught up in, to finish the reading off in, because it's just like, where to now? Where does my story finish? What's next in my story? What caused me to get into this state, from such a happy state to meeting my soulmate to ending it with heartbreak and being an emotional wreck? What happened? What caused these circumstances? We don't know. We won't know. You can find out yourself through meditation. That is the best way to go about this. If you would like help with finding out what your story is next, let me know. I will be offering this as a service soon. Meditation to help you find out what your story is, what makes you you. Finding out about your starseed and past lives is a new service I will be offering soon. I'm sorry I had to finish your story on a sad note, but that was the message that came out for you. So hopefully you can find out what caused you to be this way and what causes you to have these qualities instilled in your life that makes you you, and it's in your life that you're living now. There could be more to your story. You never know. Even especially if you're not resonating it could just be a part of your story, and there's more to come. Meditate, try and find out, discover what made you turn into the King of Swords. There is more to this story. You can continue it on your own, but if you want help, I will be here for you, okay? Take care, Group 7. Atlanteans, sorry, I apologize. Take care, Atlanteans. Bye-bye. Hi, Group 8. Group 8, you are part of the Reptilian galaxy. Reptilian constellation. Now, I was very wary of doing this group. I'm kind of like, really don't want to do this group. It's just darkness and not anything I resonate with at all as a human being and a light worker. But you are who you are. And you are a beautiful soul, regardless of what you resonate with and what makes you you. So you are included. Welcome, Reptilian. This is your Reptilian Starseed life. What I want to tell you before we get into your message from your Reptilian self is Starseeds were actually not human beings. They're entities that have been around for millions of years before the introduction of mankind. Starseeds don't have to die. They can choose to reincarnate into a human soul. That's obviously what your soul has done previously, and now you are who you are today. You, as your Reptilian Starseed, would have chosen to end their life as a Starseed and reincarnate into a human form, and thus starting your many past lives that make you you, the person you are today. You can meditate and find out more about your adventures as a Reptilian Starseed, what stories were told during your time as a Starseed, who you were, what your name is, what your job role is. You can find out everything you want to about your Starseed life as a Reptilian. As a Reptilian, you would be known as a lizard people. You're controlling, selfish. You just do everything to benefit your own self and your own being. And you love more of the darker side of life other than light and love. Okay? So again, it's nothing I resonate with because I don't like the darkness. I don't like controlling people. I don't like selfishness. I don't do anything for my own benefit usually. I don't resonate with this group at all. But in saying that, you're still a beautiful being and you deserve your story to be told. Regardless of what I think about the qualities you have as a person, you still make you you. They still make you who you are today. Remember, the qualities we embody within ourselves today, in our human form, that in our life that we're living today, come all the way back and stem all the way back to our Starseed life, stem all the way back to our past lives. And from our Starseed life to our past life to the person we are today, they pass on through the generations and make us who we are today. Okay? So in saying all that, and clearing up all that maintenance, let's jump in and get your Starseed message from your Reptilian self. What does your Reptilian self want to say to you? Oh, okay. You got two messages there. We'll take them. A lot about emotions. You're very emotional, which is very bizarre because I didn't see that coming. Okay, yep, very stuck in your ways, very proud of the way you are. More about emotions. Okay. So, you are very proud of the person you are. You are very stuck in your ways. We open with the King of Cups. King of emotions. So you are not sad about the person that you are. You have set about in your ways and in the way you live to be the person that you are today. You are quite proud of the person you are today. You are quite proud of the way you live your life, and you don't give a F-U-C-K about the way you live your life. You don't apologize to anyone. You don't explain yourself to anyone. You just don't care. You're quite proud of the person you are, and you're like your King Dick, sitting on your throne. You don't care about other people's opinions of you, or if they have to say anything about you. You don't care. You are who you are. You don't care. You don't want to explain yourself to anybody. You don't feel the need to explain yourself to anybody. Quite clear there, the King of Cups, okay? Sometimes you think you want a different way of life. 7 of materials, okay? Sometimes you think you want growth. Sometimes you will think you want a different path in life. But that's soon overcome with your reality and the person that you are and the way your emotions are. Sometimes your emotions do get caught up in your emotions, and you do get swayed and pulled to a different way of thinking, and you think, maybe I should have a different life, maybe I should change, maybe I should be nicer, maybe I should be kinder, and you do get caught up in wanting a different way of life. But then your reality steps in a sense, and your King of Cups steps in and overpowers these emotions, and they're gone. Just like that, they're gone. And you go back to your King of Cups ways and stand back into that way of life. Because again, 10 of Voices, 10 of Swords reversed. You're quite happy with the person you are. You're quite happy with the way you live. You're quite happy with the world you're living in. You don't explain yourself to anybody, and you don't want to explain yourself to anybody. I'm not surprised you got these cards, because you are the reptilian starseed, and you're very set in your ways. And again, just because it doesn't resonate with me at all as a person, as a human being, doesn't mean it's not right for you, and it's not the person you want to be, and you don't feel the need that you have to change for anybody. Your wishes are fulfilled. You are living the life you want to live. You are living the way you want to live. You have wished with this life. You've created this life for yourself, and you're quite proud of the life you're living. Again, you get caught up in your emotions quite a lot though, because sometimes you do drift back into wanting, maybe you had a love in the past and they left you and then turned you into this cold, I'm surprised you didn't get King of Swords, cold person, and they broke your heart and they turned you into this controlling, narcissistic, horrible, just not giving a fuck about anyone else in the world besides yourself. They've turned you into stone. They've turned your heart into stone. But sometimes you sit there and you reflect about the person you once were, and the person that you could have been, and the person and the life you could have lived. The person you could have been with, and the life you could have lived with them. You reminisce a lot about the past and the hurt of the past. And you want to heal it, and you want a different life. A part of you wants this, but I feel like the overpowering King of Cups here always steps back in and always comes in to remind you that the hurt is not worth the risk of healing and living a different life. But ultimately, the good news for you here is you want growth. You want change. You want to become a loving, kind person once again. You do want love in your life. You do want to heal the shadow aspects of yourself. You do want to rid your life of the harshness, okay? So yeah, it will take time. It's going to take a lot of convincing of yourself. It's going to take a lot, but eventually the outcome is growth. You will change. Will go through a period of growth, and you will become a different version of yourself and live a different life than you were living today. I'm smiling because transformation is a beautiful thing. Healing is a beautiful thing. And these are the qualities that your reptilian starseed is telling you that you need to change in order to get a new beginning. Look, I just picked this card up. I'm like, why is this card staying behind? Ace of Pentacles. Stable new beginning. New adventures coming in. Maybe you even traveled to another planet as a starseed and started a new life away from your reptilian family, because they wouldn't have wanted you to change. They would have wanted you to stay the same evil person that you were. But you want to change. And that's a beautiful thing, my friend. Change is always a beautiful thing. Transformation is always a beautiful thing. And this is ultimately what you want. So good on you for wanting that and bringing this change about in your life. Group 8, thank you for listening to your message from your starseed. I hope you can explore your story more. Take care. Bye.